Good morning. It is the 29th of October 2019. You are watching the Median Man's This Week in Metal for the 21st to the 28th of October. So, today we're going to be talking about Babymetal getting the first number one on the Billboard rock album charts for an Asian metal band. We'll be talking about an update for Megadeth about Dave Mustaine. We'll be here talking about Eric Bell and his little tiff with Metallica, and we'll be promoting a little feature we'll be doing for the website. So, let's start off with Babymetal. So, congratulations are in order for Babymetal. They're the first Asian band to hit number one on the Billboard Top Rock album charts. And their third full album, Metal Galaxy, which came out on October 11th, which is the album to which they have got this number one, has debuted at number 13 on the Billboard 200. That is the big album chart in the United States where everything is there. So this is pretty cool, you know. Babymetal, they started off in 2014. They're a bit of sort of pop metal, as it were. They've got some, let's just call it, interesting setups. You know, I saw them when I went to Sonosphere in 2014, and it was quite surreal seeing, you know, these three sort of young teenage girls getting a crowd of grown-ass men to fucking mosh and headbang. Really, it was quite surprising, but you know, fair play to them. Their music is obviously quite popular, and indeed, you know, the members of the band have talked about how much it means to them. Indeed, in an interview with Loudwire, one of their members, Moa Metal, has said that she's really happy that she gets the opportunity to challenge herself, and that the music and the originality of their songs is something that allows their audience to really get grooving. And I think you can clearly see it by the record sales. You know, they've sold 28,000 units, with 27,000 of those being physical sales, which is insane in this day and age. So yeah, fair play to Babymetal, and let's hope that other bands like Nepal's Underside, like Demonic Resurrection from India, you know, like Kryptos also from India, can now follow the path that they have paved. And now we move on to something also somewhat cheerful. Megadeth bassist David Ellefson has told Pomelo Rocker, as cited in Blabbermouth, that the upcoming studio album that they're doing is probably hasn't got a set release date, mainly because of Dave Mustaine, the guitarist and vocalist and founder of Megadeth, going through throat cancer treatment, which Ellefson mentions he's now completed. He's going through recovery, and Ellefson mentions in the interview that once they've gone through that process, they'll let it take as much time as is needed, and then they'll continue with the album. He does finish off by saying he hopes that by 2020 the album will be out. To be fair, I think that kudos to the guys. They've handled it really well, and I think Dave Mustaine has himself taken it on the chin, as it were. He issued a statement in June on social media about the treatment and about the diagnosis and how he's feeling. And most of Megadeth's previous tour dates have been cancelled. The Mega Cruise, however, still departed, but with Dave obviously absent from the ship. I believe David Ellefson took over most of the performing duties. There was an all-star performance where they covered some Kiss songs and some Black Sabbath songs, and it looked pretty cool. So yeah, I mean, we wish the best to Dave and to the guys in Megadeth, and we look forward to seeing how they turn out in the future. And now from there we move on to another sort of controversy, as it were, that has found Metallica. Thin Lizzy's founding guitarist Eric Bell has said that, well, he's branded Metallica a pack of bastards because they've allegedly failed to pay him for a gig he did with them in 1999, where he was invited on to play Whiskey in the Jar. He talks about how they flew him on a return trip from the UK to Dublin in their private plane, but he mentions that he was surprised that they failed to pay him $2,000 after the show. Basically, what he has said is that no agreement was actually reached on whether or not he was going to be paid for this performance. He didn't mention anything, but then he says that he thought when a member of Metallica's crew came over to say goodbye, that they were going to hand him some money. And if you actually read through some of what he says, it sounds quite ridiculous. As you can see on screen, it says, I was quietly expecting about 2 grand, which wouldn't have meant a thing to them, but all I got handed over a big ball of Metallica t-shirts, key rings, and hats. I got paid fuck all. Then they all fucked off. I think the mention of the quietly expecting is the key here. As I've been told by my parents numerous times, if you don't ask for something, you're not going to get it. And I think quietly expecting something when you're a grown ass man is pretty pathetic, to be honest with you. I think if he wanted the money, he should have asked about it, and he shouldn't have gone bitching to some reporter about it 20 years later. You know, it doesn't reflect very kindly on him. He later goes on to say, it wasn't until I was sitting on my car home that I hadn't been paid. He tried to get somebody in touch with the Metallica guys, but they found it impossible and they gave up. To be honest, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not really sure whether to believe him or not. I think if he had asked, he would have been paid. He didn't ask, so he didn't get paid. I'm not sure why he's causing such a fuss about it, to be honest. But then again, maybe he needs the money. Maybe he's trying to promote something, or maybe he genuinely does feel it's a grievance, or maybe he just doesn't want to admit he's got egg on his face. But anyway, regardless of that, so that's the 3 main top stories for this week in metal. I mean, we could have talked about Mayhem's guitarist talking about how he wanted to kill one of his former members, but Mayhem have always been batshit insane, so I think the less sort of coverage we give to that type of news story, the better, I think. But yes, as I previously mentioned in the opening statement, we are going to be doing some features on some bands. There are bands like Diamond Head, Saxon, Blitzkrieg, who you see them play, you listen to their music, and you think, how have they not gotten bigger? Why aren't they playing arenas? So we're going to be doing features on bands such as those who should have made it big, but for whatever reason didn't, but they're still producing high quality music. If you have any suggestions for bands you think we should cover, or that you would like to see covered, please do drop us a comment in the video comment section below. Leave a comment on our Facebook page, or send an email, which you can find on the contact page on the Median Man's website. We're also going to be covering bands which are starting out, because getting coverage is the lifeblood of any band. So if you have any band, if you are in a band, or if you know of anyone who is in a band and you think they should get coverage on our site, please do let us know. You can contact us on Facebook at The Median Man, Instagram also at The Median Man, or you can leave a comment in the comment section below on this video, or you can email us at vivek.rajkoa@gmail.com. That's vivek.rajkoa@gmail.com. You've been listening to The Median Man and This Week in Metal. Thank you very much, and stay heavy.